Unit 10, Lesson 86, Making Decisions. How good are you at making decisions? Do you like making decisions? Some people do, others hate doing it. What about you? Perhaps making decisions about your career might be harder than making decisions about a weekend getaway. We are going to read a text about making decisions and playing poker. What correlations can we identify from these two things, like making decisions and playing poker? For sure, we have to make quick decisions when we play poker, right? And yeah, and I'm going to start from this quotation here from Robert Frost. Let's see if you can understand the meaning of this quotation. Two roads diverged in a wood. Okay, so that's the wood. Okay, like the forest, the wood. So two roads diverged, okay? And I took the one less traveled by. That has made all the difference, okay? He chose the road less traveled by. So for him, that was the best decision. When you make decisions, do you usually regret, or most of the times are you happy with the decisions that you make? Have you ever regret a decision that you have made? Let's see. We're going to read this text, right? About poker and decision making. Do you like to play poker? Are you a good player? I must confess, I think I've played it a couple of times. I'm not a good fan of cards. I prefer playing sports like football and volleyball. But yeah, so press pause now. You're going to read this text by Olivia Metzger, and after we are going to comment it together, right? Yeah, you can press pause now and read the text. Or you can read it from your PDF file in your mobile phone, in your laptop. Whatever sounds better to you. Beautiful. Let's do it together now. Olivia Metzger is a professional poker player, games specialist, and a science communicator. What a combination, huh? Poker player, games specialist, and a science communicator. Read what she says about trusting our gut feelings. No, our gut feelings. Gut feelings. Our beliefs. Intuition. Or rely on probabilities and careful analysis when making important decisions. When you make important decisions, do you trust your gut feelings? Your intuition? Or you are more like a rational decision maker? You analyze the pros and cons, the data, the information available, and then you make the decision. How do you usually do? In this article, she shares 3 strategies she has learned from the game, poker, and how we can apply them to real life. Wow, let's see. I'm curious to see it. I'm a professional poker player, and today I will discuss about 3 things that the game has taught me around decision making that I find apply to everyday life. Wow, nice, huh? Let's see. Now, the first of these things is about luck. Now, like poker, life is also a game of skill and luck. And when it comes to the biggest things we care about, health, wealth, and relationships, these outcomes don't only depend on the quality of our decision making, but also the roll of life's dice. You know, the dice, when you play the dice, you have the 6 numbers, then you roll the dice. And yeah, so the expression is to roll the dice, right? For example, we can be perfectly health conscious and still get unlucky with something like cancer. Or we can smoke 20 cigarettes a day, and live to a ripe old age. ripe old age. Ripe, for example, the fruit is ripe, okay? So it's good to eat, okay? Ripe. When you live to a ripe old age, you live until you get old, okay? So live to a ripe old age, which is a nice expression for you to use. It's live until we're old, all right? And this kind of ambiguity can make it hard for us to know how good our strategies are. Sometimes, especially when we are experiencing a lot of success. Beautiful, huh? Next, for example, back in 2010, I won a really big poker tournament known as the European Poker Tour. And because I'd only been playing full-time for about a year, when I won, I assumed I must be rather brilliant. Cocky, yeah? You know, when a person is arrogant, you can say she's full of herself. She's full of herself. She's informal, you can say she's cocky. She's cocky, you know? Full of herself. She's cocky. So I assumed I must be rather brilliant. In fact, I thought I was so brilliant that I not only got rather lazy with studying the game, but I also got bolder. So she got lazy, okay, and she got bolder. What does bold mean? I am bold. Can mean arrojado, agressivo, but not aggressive. You can play boldly, you can play aggressively, okay? Destemido, okay, can be bold. Or if you're using the word file, it can be negrito, okay? But I also got bolder. Started playing in the biggest tournaments I could against the very best in the world. And then my profit graph went from a thing of beauty to something kind of sad, obviously. With this worrying downhill trend, you know, downhill, things are going downhill. It means things are going bad, okay? Things are going bad. Downhill, bad. For a long time. Until I finally realized that I was overestimating my skill level. To overestimate means superestimar, okay? Or estimar além da conta, okay? Superestimar, I think it's together. Superestimar, yeah. And the opposite to underestimate is to subestimar, okay? So she was overestimating her skill level. She thought she was brilliant, she was amazing, but less, and got my act together. Nice expression, nice expression. Get your act together. Get your act together means like recomponha-se, okay? For example, your life is a mess. You broke up with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend. You got fired from work. You don't have a job. Your house is dirty. It's a mess. You don't have money to pay the bills. Your life is a mess. Man, get your act together. Okay, get your act together. Start doing something. Okay? Yeah, next one. And this kind of reminds me of what we've been seeing in the cryptocurrency space, at least in 2017, where the only thing that's been going up faster than the markets themselves is the number of senior investment specialists who have been appearing out of nowhere. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible to have a strategic edge, but at the same time, it's very easy to feel like a genius when you are in a market that is going up so fast that even the worst strategies are making a profit. So when we are experiencing success, it's important to take a moment to really ask ourselves how much of it is truly down to us. It's truly down to us. Something is down to me means it happens because of my skills, my talent, okay? So yeah, we really ask ourselves how much of it is really true down to us, because our egos love to downplay the luck factor when you are winning, to downplay, okay, to reduce the luck factor, okay, so to downplay, to reduce the luck factor. All right, nice. Now, a second thing poker taught me is the importance of quantifying my thinking. When you're playing, you can't just get away with going, hey, they are probably bluffing. You know, bluffing? When you are pretending to have good cards, but you don't. That's just going to lose you a bunch of money, a lot of money, a huge amount of money. Because poker is a game of probabilities and precision. So you have to train yourself to think in numbers. Okay? A nice expression here. You can just get away with. Get away with. Get away with. It's like se dar bem. Okay? Se dar bem. Get away with. Trust me, it helps a lot with the planning process. And the thing is, almost anything that could possibly happen here today or at any point in the future can also be expressed as a probability too, of course. Consequently, now I also try to speak in numbers as well. If someone asks me, hey, do you think you're going to come along to that thing tonight? Instead of just saying to them, yeah, probably, I actually give them my best estimate. Say 60%. Wow, how precise. And I know that sounds a little odd, a little strange, okay? A little weird. So odd, strange, weird. But the thing is, I run a poll on Twitter. She ran a poll on Twitter. Poll means enquete, okay? So she ran a poll on Twitter of what people understand by the word probably. And the spread of answers was enormous. The spread, the difference, okay? So apparently it's absolutely useless. Useless is the opposite of useful, okay? So it's absolutely useless at actually conveying any real information. Okay? Yeah, no big deal here. If you guys catch yourselves using these vague words like probably or sometimes, try instead using numbers, because when you speak in numbers, we know what lands in the other person's brain, what arrives, okay? To land means aterrissar. Okay, when you take the airplane. Now, the third thing I want to touch on is intuition. Intuition. How often you see inspirational memes in your Facebook or Instagram feed? They're always there. Breathe and hear the answer. Feel the energy and trust your inner voice. Inner, okay? Inner means from the inside. From the inside, your inner voice. Trust your soul. They're nice, right? It's lovely. Yes, trust your soul. Well, they're terrible advice. Terrible advice. if you see the image of the best poker players or the image of the most intelligent people you've seen, do they look like people who live purely of feelings and intuitions? Just living life out of the energy of their moon in that day? Look at them. Obviously, these guys are about slow, careful analysis, nearly nerdy looking, and that's because the game has outgrown. So to outgrow means superar. So the game has outgrown the days where pure street smarts and people reading can get you to the top. And that's because our intuitions aren't nearly as perfect as we'd like to believe. I mean, it'd be great whenever we are in a tough spot to just have an answer appear to us from some magical source of inspiration. That would be nice. But in reality, our gut is extremely vulnerable to all kinds of wishful thinking and biases. So a bias is viés. Okay? Bias. What is our gut good for then? Well, all the studies, gut is about gut feeling. No, I have a feeling in my guts. Okay? I have a gut feeling. I have intuition in something inside me. Okay? Like a feeling. Okay? What's our gut good for then? Well, all the studies I've read conclude that it's best suited for everyday things that we have lots and lots of experience in. Like how we just know that our friend is mad at us before we even said anything to them. Or whether we can fit our car into a tight parking spot. But when it comes to the really big stuff, like what's our career path going to be, or who should we marry, why should we assume that our intuitions are better calibrated for these than slow, proper analysis? I mean, they don't have any data to be based off. Yeah. And yeah, I think no new words here. Okay. So my third lesson is, while you shouldn't ignore our intuitions, we shouldn't overprivilege them either. Okay? Overprivilege. To overprivilege. It means to give a lot of privilege. Okay, to overprivilege, over means excess. We shouldn't ignore our intuitions and we shouldn't overprivilege them either or either. Doesn't matter. Either. And I'd like to summarize these 3 lessons with my own set of memes, with more of a poker player twist. Like a toque. Okay? Twist. Toque. Success is sweetest when you achieve it across a large sample size. Okay. Your gut is your friend, and so is a cost-benefit analysis, probably. The future is unknown, but you can damn well try and estimate it. Okay? The future is unknown, but you can damn well try and estimate it. Do you agree? What is your line of thought? Do you trust your gut most of the time, your intuition to make decisions, or you are more an analytical person? You analyze the data, the information, you try to estimate the chances of success. You are more analytical person. How do you usually make decisions? Very interesting text. I really liked it. And I'm not a big fan of poker, of cards, as I said, but I think that you can learn a lot from games. That's for sure. Now you're going to answer the questions about the text, and I see you in the next lesson to correct them together. So see you soon.